Do you know what the 4 letters in MBTI's 16 personality types stands for? If not, this is the video for you. Hi, I am Pixelpia. I'm a teacher and a lifelong learner. And when I did a series about professional development, I came in contact with Mbti, Myer Briggs type indicator. And I had heard about it before, but this time I got very interested. So I decided to start this series and try to learn as much as I could about Mbti. And if you missed my first video, I will link it up in the eye. In that video, I talk about who Myers-Briggs were and a little bit about the background to Mbti. And today, I want to talk about the 4 scales that is the base for the 4-letter combination that describes each of the 16 personality types. Before we go into the scales themselves, let's just quickly go over what they represent. The first scale, E versus I, is a measurement about how you prefer to deal with the world. Extraversion versus introversion, where you get energized. The second scale, S versus N, is about how you take in information and what type of information that is important to you. The third scale, T versus F, is about how you prefer to make decisions. And the fourth scale, J versus P, is about how you prefer to live your life. This is about how you prefer. This is not a measurement in any way of your capabilities. It is a self-assessment, and it's only about what you prefer. Doesn't mean if you prefer one side over the other, it doesn't mean that you don't use both sides on the scale. It doesn't even tell you what you are good at. This is only about your preferred way of thinking, doing, living. So let's go into the scales. Let's start by E versus I. Extraversion versus introversion. And as I said, this is about how you prefer to direct your energy, what keep you energized, where you focus your attention. So first we have the extraversion side. And remember, you can have times in your life where you are more introvert or more extrovert. This is about your preferred way of interact with the world. And if you lean more to the extraversion side, you prefer to deal with people and situations and things, while the introversion side, you prefer to deal with ideas and beliefs and information, more of the inner world, while extraversion is more of the outer world. The extrovert is very often action-oriented, while the introvert is more reflection. Extrovert enjoy more frequent socializations, enjoy large groups of people, and get really energized from being among people. The introvert also enjoy socializing, but in a smaller scale and often with a more deeper and meaningful social interaction. And the introvert recharges by being by themselves. The next scale is about your preferred way of taking in information. And here we have sensing on one side and intuition on the other side. So let's look at how you prefer to take in information if you are on the sensing side. The sensing side prefers facts and details. You like to deal with things you know. You like clarity and to be able to describe what you see. You are more practical and pay attention to facts and details. You absorb data in a more literal, concrete way, and you might even prefer hands-on experiences. If you are on the intuition side, you use your information to see possibilities and potentials. You prefer to deal with ideas, not facts, and to look into the unknown. And you often can anticipate what is not so obvious. You pay attention to patterns and possibilities in a more abstract way. And from your gathered information, you see possibilities, and you often imagine the future. The third scale is about how you prefer to make decisions, the thinking side or the feeling side. Of course, you use both sides in decision making. Remember, this is what you do more often and what is your preferred way, which of the worlds you more often stay within. So let's say that you are a T, a thinker. That would mean that your decision making is based on logic, that it's important for you to be objective, that you are analytic, and that you try to use a very detached approach. Your focus is on logic and analytics, and you make decisions in a rational, logical, and impartial manner. And you first look at logic and consistency. If you, on the other hand, lean more toward the feeling side of decision making, your decision is often based on values, what you believe is the right thing or the right person to listen to. You focus your decision more on people and the effects a decision will have than facts and analysis. You often make decisions based on the individual case. You make decisions in a very subjective manner based on what you believe is right according to your internal value system. And when you make a decision, you first look at the people and the circumstances. And the last scale is judgment versus perception. And let me say here, don't confuse judgment with being judgmental. That has nothing to do with it. This is about how you prefer to live your life, how you prefer to use your information and your decision making and interact with the world. This is about your attitude towards the world around you and how you live your daily life. So if you are on the judgment side, you prefer your life to be well planned and organized. You are probably very decisive and prefer structure and control. You want things to be neat and orderly, and you want things to be settled. If you, on the other hand, leaning more to the perception side, you prefer to just go with the flow, be more spontaneous and flexible. You prefer to keep your options open, and you want things to be flexible and spontaneous and open-ended. And you are probably very adaptable. From these 4 scales, we get a 4-letter combination, one from each scale, that will be your personality type. And there are a total of 16 personality types according to Mbti. In my last video, I talked about me taking the official MBTI test, I've been thinking a little bit, and I have decided that even though it cost $50 to take the test, I will actually take it twice. I have already taken it the first time, and I'm gonna take it again after I have learned as much as I can about MBTI. I will still do that video at the end of this series and compare the two. Are they the same or are they different? I will also do a review of the way of testing and if I think it's worth $50 to take this test. And without disclosing too much, I will now tell you what my first MBTI test result was. And let me get the paper so I get this right. According to my test, I am an ENTP. Extrovert, intuition, thinking, perception. Some of these I agree with. Some I'm a little hesitant. Not all of this is an exact description of me. And if you want to know more about that and the test itself, or the 16 personalities, I suggest that you hit the little subscribe button and the bell so you get notified on when I upload. In my next video, before I go into the different personality types, I will talk a little bit about different tests that's out there, and I will talk about the critique that the MBTI theory has gotten. So, until next time, remember, never stop learning.